this video isn't made for kids. It has swearing and stuff in it, okay? You've been warned. Howdy gamers, Filthy Moose has forced me to make another video on one of these zombie events. So I'm gonna do that.
I have gun. Make content.
Oh, okay. So open up Discord today, look through DMs and stuff, go to servers, first thing I see, Filthy Moose is doing an event. So then I'm just like, okay, I might as well do that. It seems fun. Might as well join in, right? Moment I get in there, everybody's just like, hey, you should record this, buddy. Hey, you recording right now? Yo, you should record this. Good content. And I'm like, oh, okay. And that's how this video was born. So, once I got into the server, I went to Goldfield Mountain Complex like they asked. Now, there was a debriefing, on, the rules and, like, what we were exactly doing. So, basically, the debriefing said, don't use any guns the USCPF wouldn't. Make your hits to kill actually make sense. And don't one-shot mutants. With all that out of the way, let's get right into the roleplay. I went IC, grabbed the pallet, and went to go barricade Fort Viridian. Now, you might be saying to yourself, but wait a minute, Rocket, that's from the zombie video. And to that I say, yes it is. However, I showed you that clip just to illustrate my point even further that, I'm kind of obsessed with pallets. So, if you would like to help this pallet addiction, please, buy a shirt. Link in the description. So then, the moment that I start putting up this pallet, my friend comes over and starts chatting with me, right? Then I realized, wait a minute, everybody's moving from here to the other side of the pallet. Why am I putting this pallet here? That will just be inconvenient. What the fuck, Richard? So eventually we all started moving around and just, looking for good spots to set up barricades. Then I see people blocking off the cafeteria. So I decided to go see what's happening in the cafeteria. Eventually, after some walking, I met up with my friend here. So we were vibing for a bit, and then I decided, hey, I'm gonna go explore behind the counter, I guess, where like all the food is prepared and stuff. See if there's any mutants or something, because this could be a good home base, I suppose. So, literally under a minute after this, 5 guys come into here, and then one of them just turns off the lights, right? Now, the reasoning for this was to make us less of a target for the mutants, right? But then that would just be illuminating our current position and making our enemies hard to see. Now, one could argue that the USCPF might have thermal, right? But even if that were the case, none of us were using it. So, I don't really get the point. So, a few minutes after this, we're all just chill, right? We're just holding our positions. Nothing really bad has happened. Until, well, as it turns out, a leecher just knocked out all the power to the lights. So, we're in the dark. So, I flick on my lantern and begin to block the doors. Surprisingly not using pallets, but instead using a Coca-Cola machine. Yeah, rare. So, immediately after this, I realized, hey, my efforts are entirely in vain because everybody in the room just left. So then, after boosting my confidence and a little bit of coke,
Oh my god.
I decided to follow my comrades out into battle. However, once again, this was all in vain, as they immediately rushed back to chase a crusher. At this point, we were doing pretty good. There was only a couple of minutes left until the train came to pick us up at our evac point, so, we had a pretty good shot at surviving this. Until, that appeared, and, excuse me, is that a rat AP?
Oh shit! Alright!
Rat AP! Little did he realize we could just run right past him while he attacked one of us.
Screw.
Now, there was a debriefing on, the rules and like what we were exactly doing. So, basically, the debriefing said literally the exact same stuff before for the new players, but this time we're gonna burn the biomass.
But Rocket, this sounds familiar.
No, this is original content.
Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Well, we entered the cave next to the biomass and began to clear out a bunch of mutants to, enter the biomass, because they were kind of blocking our path. After a solid 5 minutes of doing this, we finally made it into the biomass. Now, of course, the moment that we make it into the biomass, one of our HRs gets kidnapped and taken down to the core of the biomass, thus being turned into a mutant. So then, after a good 30 minutes, the only thing that has happened that's even remotely eventful is most of our men got, turned into mutants. So, the bad part is, I don't even have any footage of that happening because I wasn't turned into a mutant. So, here's some footage of me running away, like a little bitch. Although I would be lying if I said that it was all bad, because I did get this epic double kill where I rammed these two guys off the edge of the biomass. After a while of that, I got grabbed and was about to be turned into a mutant. Little did they know, I have a bayonet. So I slammed it right through his skull, and then, he failed. A little bit later, I get a nice double kill while also protecting one of our men. We are now informed that some absolute mad lad just kamikazed the cave with our supply truck, not only killing him and the mutants, but also the entrance to the cave and our ammunition. Here's me and an HR whining about our dead commander. The HR was just like, we should probably, fall back, because otherwise we're gonna get fucking eaten. We decided to preach to the flame trooper, and he decided to sacrifice his life for ours. However, his efforts were in vain, as like 3 leeches just came out of nowhere and one threw a spear through my chest. But then, thankfully, our medic realized, oh hey, there's a guy with the spear through his chest. I should probably prevent him from dying really quickly. So then he dragged me over by the supply car to, maybe try and fix me up. But once again, his efforts were in vain, because the USCPF can never have good luck. What ended up happening was 2 leechers came out of nowhere and, ripped his head off. So, here's me, a guy who just got a spear ripped out of his chest, who was also about to get pounced on by 2 leechers. So what do, you might be asking? Well, I draw my .50 caliber, fire through one of their heads, slam my fist into the other one, knocking him down, and then fire into his head. Now, you might be saying to yourself, but Rocket, it sounds kind of FRP. It's not, because both Moose and Hyper saw it. Moose being one of the leechers that I killed, and Hyper previously being informed about the spear through my chest. Now, neither of them said anything about it, so, So, this guy here said that one of us was dead. So I didn't know if he was talking to me or not, because, I got a spear through my chest, but apparently the medic got his head ripped off, so I assumed he was talking about the medic. Now, before I could actually discuss it with him, this guy came in and, evacuated me. So, thank you, Brocket. Very cool.
There's more.
Music sound effect.jpg. Now, there's a debriefing.
Now, unlike the other 2 rounds of this event, Hyper decided, hey, I'm gonna give everybody a shot, and basically he named the role, and then we all started jumping, whenever we wanted that role. So, I am stuck to good ol' USCPF Rifleman. So, I'm gonna cut out round 3 and talk over it and just give you my final thoughts on the event. Now, what happened in round 3? Y'all got set up on top of a rooftop, right? Just somewhere in Boulder Cove. And basically, our goal was to fend off the mutants for like 20 minutes. So, what ended up happening was a very, very easy game for the mutants. The mutants, because there's no respawn delay for the infected in any of these events, it was just super easy to get outrun by them because of the amount of them. like, actually, though, killing them, it was like shooting a Nerf dart at a Mark 1. There really wasn't any stopping them, they just walked back. Now, another issue, there was, like, no space. Mutants could just appear out of thin air, like, especially creepers and leechers, because, you know, there's, like, nowhere to actually go, and nowhere to, set up defense. You know how Hyper gave us all a fair chance or whatever, right? Well, the issue with that was, the Flame Trooper set, like, 3 people on fire, and continued to avoid death by ook arguing, and we just didn't have a medic whatsoever. So, now, in my opinion, the biggest issue with this entire event was just balancing. Now, for round 1, I think that if Brutus came in a little bit earlier, then that'd be fair. But, you know, they, like, had no chance due to the amount of people just camping the one, like, entrance. And then round 2, I think if we had a Mark 1, it would have been fair. Because Mark 1s are relatively easy to take out with a massive horde of mutants. Especially one that has infinite lives. So if we had a Mark 1, that'd probably even it out a little bit. And then I think round 3, we just should have had a medic. Because, you know, we literally couldn't heal ourselves. And the amount of damage that we were taking from the mutants was just kind of ridiculous. At least in my opinion. But, yeah. Outside of that, massive props to Filthy Moose and Hyperkid for making a fun and memorable event. Even if they were heavily unbalanced at times, they were all definitely at least enjoyable for both parties. Once again, shout out to Filthy Moose and Hyperkid for making an enjoyable event. You know, they make good content. Content is good. They provide me with content. So, go watch theirs. Or else I will hit you with a steel spork. This is not replacing the steel baguette, because steel baguette is still good. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment down below, share with your friends. Don't do any of that if you don't want to, because I'm not your father, I'm not your mother, I am not your Chinese fork, I am not your KFC bucket of chicken wings, and most importantly, I am not a gay rat. See you later, gamers. Oh my god, guys, RocketRidge isn't dead. It's been over a week. I'm supposed to make weekly videos, what the fuck? I don't know. I guess I just got lazy. That's about it. I just haven't really had anything to make videos on, and I've been kinda lazy. So, this happened like 3 days ago or something. So I was like, oh, okay, I might as well make a video on it. This video took longer than it should have. Point is, I've been procrastinating. So, I'm sorry for that. In other news, I have recently reached 700 subscribers. So, to anybody who has subscribed, thank you very much. It really does mean a lot from the bottom of my heart that I've made it so far to here. And, you know, I'm hoping that I can hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2020. So, you know, thank you very much for that. Even if I don't make a video on it, I still want to mention it. Because I do have a couple videos planned. They might not make it out, but whatever. Gift review should be next week. Unless Chad is lazy and doesn't release it next week. Which is probably going to be the case. If not, I'm going to upload something else. And if so, keep your eyes peeled. Anyway, my name is RocketRidge. This is RocketRidge blasting off. Peace out, gamers.